If you can dream and not make dreams your master, we all have dreams. I had them when I was younger. So I figured the best place to make those dreams come true are in isolation. So I walked into isolation as David Goggins, but I walked out of isolation as Goggins. Where you become a savage is in isolation. When you're training for a big MMA fight or just a boxing match, you don't stay outside of isolation. You go in isolation. And that's when your mind changes. That's when your focus changes. Your dedication changes. Don't use this time to fuck up your mind. Use it to gain strength, gain focus.
I think this is a time for all of us to take stock of the things that matter.
Exactly.
And pay attention to our lives. Like you spoke of earlier about hearing the birds,
Yes.
For some reason now I think the birds are louder around my house. I was like, whoa,
Yes.
maybe they're
Yes.
missing all the people in the streets or something.
It do. I sit and laid there and I didn't realize how much the rain meant to me as a human being. I took it for granted. Like most people, we take it for granted. Oh, it's raining, man, it messed up my day. And as I stayed there over the years and over the course of years and years, I began to realize I didn't appreciate that rain the way I should have. And I didn't ask God for a whole lot when I was locked up, but I asked him if it was his will, allow me to experience the rain one last time.
Wow.
And every time it rained, anybody that knows me, and especially Lester, if it rained, I walks in the rain because I took it for granted. And I think this is a time that all of us should make a list of what we take for granted. And once this virus is gone, don't take those things for granted anymore. Enjoy them because you're only going to be able to be here for a short period of time. So why not enjoy?
I wake up in the morning, I lie in bed and meditate for 5 minutes. I do the release meditation technique, which is I close my eyes, I repeat the word release to myself several times for about 5 minutes. Just release, release, release. It's my mantra, just to release any tension in my mind or in my body and just kind of just like zone. Just find a place of release and freedom at the beginning of the day. It's just for 5 minutes. Then I get up, I immediately drink 20 full ounces of water. I refill that thing and I'm gonna drink that next 20 ounces of water in the next, half hour easily. What I do after that first, just get up, drink some water, is I immediately hit the floor. And I do anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes of mobility work on my body, or yoga or calisthenics stretching. Basically, I'm just opening up my body. I'm just stretching out and being very mindful of my breath for 10 or 20 minutes as I'm moving on the floor, doing some vinyasa flows in yoga to open up my body, open up my meridian, just get awoken up to my body. Then I spend 20 minutes reading. And for me, I read either spiritual texts, psychology texts, self-improvement texts, or philosophy texts. Those are the main things I read in terms of books, right? It's almost always spirituality, philosophy, psychology, or some type of self-help, self-improvement. For 20 minutes minimum, I just sit and I read. Then I get up, and for 20 minutes, I then plan with my high performance planner, which I know most of you guys have, or I hope you do, the high performance planner, because the reason I do that for 20 minutes is because there's all these 10 prompts in the morning section to help me anticipate my day and create a strong mindset, create sort of a healthy way to look at the day. I ask myself questions, if you don't have the high performance planner, I ask questions like, one thing I can get excited about today is, if one word would describe the person I need to be today, it would be this: somebody who needs me today to show up. A situation that might stress me out or trip me up could be this situation today, and the way I'll deal with it is this way. somebody I could surprise with a note of appreciation, a gift, a gratitude, something beautiful. I'll talk about one action I could do today to demonstrate some excellence. I'll talk about, a bold action I could take, and I'll think about the big projects I have in mind. Then I'll fill out my goals. I'll figure out the tasks that must happen today. I'll detail the people I need to reach out to this day. And then I'll look at whatever I need to do that day. I'll maybe have my planner or my calendar from my phone or my computer, and I'll write it down. I'll always write it down. And I'll look at what are the major tasks and activities through the hours of the day. And then what I do, people are always like, that takes you 20 minutes. I'm like, no, honestly, filling out my planner might take 5 to 7 minutes in the morning. But then what I do is I look at each of those things and I ask myself, how could I do that thing with excellence? Like today, I knew I was going to film this for you, and I said, okay, right before, I'm going to make sure I move my body, I'm going to get my mind ready, I'm going to be alert and really serve with gratitude and with fire for people when most people just want to be placated. I'm going to challenge people. And what I do is I visualize the whole day, every meeting, every conversation, just walk it through. What would make that successful and excellent and be of value? And I just think about that. So it's like a visualization basically for 20 minutes. I'm planning the day, I'm visualizing the day. Those are huge.